Sorry, camera's all blurry. My left knee that I had ACL surgery on was giving me some issues, but so I had to go a little bit slower today, so just kind of out on a little bit of a walk in the neighborhood. And as I was driving back home, got to thinking about something about what a lot of people, entrepreneurs, or just people that are on an elevated level that we kind of look up to nowadays, Gary Vee, Alex Hormozy, just pick your top YouTube influencer type guy, right? And something that they always talk about is how they wish they would have documented more when they were on the come up, right? And I got to thinking about a little bit about that in my current situation. And you see this in like fitness people as well, right? They wish they would have documented more when they were fat, and then because it's a hero's journey, right? So you guys who maybe do or don't understand story, the hero's journey is like one of the most played out storylines in all of history. And the reason why it's played out is because it's so effective. You have a guy who's struggling and has to overcome hardships, and then finally they overcome hardships and then they succeed and blah blah blah, right? The problem is, and I was thinking about my own current situation, is that it's a little bit of a different story when you kind of like start off here, and that's all relative, right? I'm not saying that, I was like anybody necessarily important, but at one point in time I was doing pretty cool shit, right? And then you lose it and you start off at relatively the bottom, right? And what the interesting thing is that when I started Adam Huber's Detailing, there's a couple of you guys on here that have been following me ever since Adam Huber's Detailing, which to me is just absolutely nuts. The fact that people would even bother watching anything that I have to do at all. But there's some of you that have. For you guys that have been following me ever since then, that was completely different, because I started at the bottom and the only direction was up. There was no, and I had such conviction that I was going to succeed that I didn't mind documenting the process, because I was like, oh man, in a couple of years, this story is going to be fucking nuts. Like, this is going to be crazy and I can't wait to document this whole thing. Whereas now I struggle with it a little bit more, because it's like, yeah, you were something. You did do something cool, and now look at you. You're just selling cars. And there's a whole reason as to why that happened and everything like that. I did a YouTube video on it. But the point of the story is that as I was coming home, I got to thinking about, me documenting everything that's going on right now, because I know that this isn't the final step in my whole story. I know that this isn't the final stage. I know that I'm going to do something, whatever it is, later on. But when do you start the documenting process? When am I going to be okay with letting people know, like, yeah, this is where I'm at now? And then a couple of years from now, being able to look back and say, yeah, see, that's where I started. Because people don't start giving you flowers and start giving you recognition until they see you start doing cool stuff, right? And then what's really a mind trip is when people perceive you to be doing better than they are. Now all of a sudden they take those flowers away, and then they resent you. And then the people that are above you now start saying, oh, you're doing so great, man. I love your story, and blah, 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 until you start doing better than them. Then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, but he's kind of an asshole. Like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, he changed, whatever it might be. So it's all relative, right? But the interesting thing is like, do I care about that? Because the amount of people, again, when I was documenting before, that would reach out to me and message me and say, hey man, because of you, I did this thing or I did that thing. It was just so cool to do that. And it's like, is that 1 out of 100 voices worth doing all that kind of stuff? So anyways, long story short is, do I have the guts to document what I'm going through right now? Do I do that? And you know, it's just something that's kind of playing in my head, because again, I know this isn't the final chapter, right? Like, something cool is going to happen down the line. It's just a matter of what. I don't know. Again, just some random thoughts that I wanted to document, because I don't know, maybe this video will pop up in a year, and you know, things will just be completely different. Who knows?